Good evening, guys, and welcome to round number 15 of the AOR F6 season here at the Marina Bay circuit in Singapore. And this circuit is gonna be one that will not only test people's mental efficiency on this track, because this is a very mentally tiring track to race on, but also it will test their ability to keep control of the tyre temperatures. This circuit, infamous for having high tyre temps, and it's the only night circuit on the calendar, so we got that to look forward to, as well as we got a few guys out on the outlaps right now. Richmond, Sneaky Ninja in the Renault. Obviously 23 corners around this circuit and a barrier everywhere, so if you get it wrong by an inch, this track will punish you. 3 compounds of tyres available for these guys. The hyper soft tyres, which is not recommended whatsoever for race strategy. They just die off a bit too quickly. The tyre temps are just too difficult to control early on in the Grand Prix. The ultra soft tyres, and as you can see, the yellow walled soft tyres. Now, the ideal strategy would be the one stop from the ultra softs to the soft tyres, pitting at around about lap, say from lap 7, 8, 9 is a decent time to make a pit. You could probably get to lap 10 on them, but then you're going to be on the softs to the end. One stop is usually the way to go around here, and we're going to see how many guys actually pull it off, as we're going to see what tyres people are on. I mean, Sneaky Ninja is on the hyper soft tyres, so you know, some people will be looking for track position. It's a very tricky circuit to overtake on, as there are only 2 overtaking possibilities that, you know, where you could actually get past someone, and turn 1 could be one if you get a good run out of turns 22 and 23. Turn 7 definitely with DRS enabled will help you get past, and also turn 14, you could see a few dive bombs down the inside at turn 14. Now, I remember back in the day where there used to be a horrible corner in Sector 2, as we got Sneaky Ninja just hitting the wall and going for a little bit of a spin. So, just as I said, you hit the corners and it will punish you, as Jacob got a little bit impeded there. Was he on a flying lap? I don't think he was. But yeah, who remembers back in the day where you had that stupid chicane back in the day on Singapore? The curbs were a nightmare. I'm sure you guys remember the pain as much as I do, as we got Stern coming through with a 39.5. You know, it's not a fantastic lap, as Richmond goes with a 51.7. That's even worse. And Danger at 38.9. I mean, these are on the slowest compound tyres, so I believe the lap delta is around about a second and a half from the ultras to the soft tyres. So, but realistically, you want to be qualifying on either the soft tyres or the ultra softs. Don't qualify on the hypers, it's just not worth it. And I'm sure Sneaky Ninja will be checking on a set of the ultra soft tyres. So we're seeing a few laps coming in, as Don Silva on the hyper softs goes with a 36.8, as Rich 500 has retired from the session. Yellow flags are out. Now, as I said, this circuit so mentally draining on you when you're racing around it. it really is. You are on it at every given moment, as we see the stricken Williams of Rich 500 right there. Looks like he lost it. Looks like he lost it on the exit of the traction zone of turn 8. Interesting. We got Danger coming across the line right now. DRS wide open, and he does improve with a 37.7. As we got Sloshy and the Sauber again up into the 37s also. So Don Silva on the hyper soft tyres. It's not. That's not a great gap to have to people with soft tyres behind. I hope he was like, just testing where he could push the limits of the car, and hopefully when he chucks on a set of ultra softs he can push even harder on this circuit. But the hyper softs are just not the way to go around here. As we got just under 11 minutes left in the session, we got the other Sauber of Romata on a set of hyper soft tyres, and that's a natural time that he set on the hyper softs. I don't think he was pushing, to be fair, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, hyper softs not the way to go. Ultra softs and soft tyres are the ones you want to be qualifying on, as James pops in with a 37.1 on the ultra softs. So now we're starting to get into the ultra soft runners, as we see Dale also on a set of ultra softs. Infinities is apparently out of the session. Let me just check at what happened to Infinities. Terminal damage on his first lap. I must have missed that while I was loading this. We got a McLaren of Ames clouting into the wall, but I'm sure we all just saw that in the background of the pause menu. I mean, you don't like to see it, but it does happen. So yeah, we had Infinities losing it on his first flying lap, which we completely missed. I mean, I completely missed that one. So sorry, Infinities, but you are opened up now to a one-stop strategy for sure, with the softs and ultras available to you. Personal preference on what you're going to go for. As we're starting to see guys coming out now on the ultra soft tyres. Don Silva out there. Dale is out there. In fact, that's actually Dale's time on the ultra soft. Apparently his best lap is with no laps, and apparently his fitted lap as 1 lap. Okay. We got Aero Specialist in the Toro Rosso, taking a bit of a shortcut there. I'm sure he's just coming into the pits, trying to get out of people's way. So he's coming into the pits as his teammate Danger, in 6th place at the moment, is coming out of the pits on a set of ultra soft tyres, as Richman has left the session. What's happened to Richman? Oh no, Richman has left the session, ladies and people, and that's going to be a difficult job for Richman to do right now, because he can rejoin, but I don't think he'll be able to get back in this car for qualifying anyway. I think he'll be able to get back in for the race, but that means that Richman most likely will end up in 17th place alongside Infinities at the back, which we know is not what he wanted. As we got SJH warming up his tyres. Romata scraping against the wall there. We're going to have a look and see how Don Silva does relative to his hypersoft lap, because Don really needs to go faster than his hypersoft tyres run earlier. So he loses the back end slightly, almost going into the wall. Very easy to knock off a bit of your front wing on this track, very easy, especially considering the fact that there is no racing line in this tier of AOR. So you miss your braking zone by an inch, the track will bite back at you. We got Don Silva now coming into the final sector. Very tricky, tight part of the circuit. No margin for error, especially with this corner going into the under the bridge. But he's navigated it well. I don't think this is gonna be a particularly fast lap, but now he's probably geared up, ready to go. Yep, it's a 44.1. That's not a great lap. As we got James coming through sector 3 also. A Sneaky Ninja pops in with a 36.7. So the Renault driver has now got over that little instant earlier on, and he has come out to set a very competitive lap time as it stands. I am expecting the likes of Sloshy, Aero Specialist, Dan Gurr, Nas, and everyone who was qualified on the soft tyres to be able to go a good second faster at least. So we're on board with our championship leader, Sloshy, in the Alfa Romeo Sauber, as we got Dan Gurr going with a 35.8. So just saying what I said, like, yo, I'm expecting these guys who have set a time on soft tyres to put in a more competitive time on these ultra softs, and Dan Gurr proving me right there, going full 9/10 quicker than Sneaky Ninja. He comes around the final corner. Is this actually a lap or is it an out lap? Well, the game didn't want to tell me, so I'm just going to take it as an out lap, as Romata in the other Alfa Romeo Sauber pops up in the second with a 36.4. Very good time from the Sauber driver, but I'm sure there's a few more temps out there to gain as we are into the final 4 minutes of qualifying. So it's going to be a very tough race for the likes of Infinities, because this is a very tricky circuit to actually overtake on, and you are absolutely on it. And Infinities is a much faster driver than some of these back markers. It has been proven, but it's going to be tricky for him to come through the field and get up there. It's going to be very tricky. You might have to try maybe a little undercut, or maybe an overcut, or maybe a counter strategy compared to everyone else. But all we do know is that the Sauber's a line astern coming into the final sector, and I don't think Sloshy is going faster. No, I don't think he is. A 41.6. I mean, his tyres are probably already pretty steamed up. So if I was Sloshy right now, I would be completely backing off on this lap. Save as much fuel ERS as you can. Save those tyre temps and then go for it. And as we can see right now, Rich has just been knocked out of the top 10 after crashing out earlier on in the session. So he now has free choice of tyres. So, you know, something for him to look forward to. And yeah, it was very unusual to see someone lose it on the exit of turn 8, as we got Danger and Don Silva retiring from the session. Danger at the moment on provisional pole. There are a few guys out there who are capable of putting that under pressure. This is one of them, Sloshy, but at the moment he hasn't been able to hook it together yet. Is this the lap? We got the Ferrari of Vallicello up there in second, so once again the Ferrari driver has done decent, as Sloshy goes on the pole position with a 35.7. As I said, he's a guy who can really put that top spot under pressure. Danger will be fuming with himself for retiring, but you know, front row for Danger is very good indeed around this circuit. But we're going to see if anyone else can put it under pressure, as we got a few people on the Hypersoft tyres. Now I don't think they're going to have enough time to get around. I'm not sure if we've left it a bit too late. Yeah, Sneaky Ninjas left it too late. Here we go now. Checker flag has fallen. So, are we going to see any improvements from these guys? Will Nas be able to climb any higher in that Mercedes? He is up on his personal best time right now, so we're going to stay on board with the Mercedes driver to see if he can get up there. As he comes through the final sector. Right now, no margin for error in this final sector. As Stern pops into fourth, and there goes Nas up into third. But a good lap from the Force India driver of Stern, who actually took my seat in the Force India back when I was racing. But unfortunately, I couldn't race no more. But I am happy to bring you guys the live commentary of each of these guys' races and give the seat up to someone who is a bit more deserving, because I was absolutely slow. I was slow. I was like a turtle. But I think that is the end of the session. So we got Sloshy on pole position with a 35.7. Danger on the front row with him with a 35.8. The only two guys to make it into the 35s. And then we got Nas in third, Vallicello fourth, Stern in fifth, Romata in sixth, and we got the Renaults of Don Silva and Sneaky Ninja knocking out the fourth row. We got Jacob in ninth, James in 10th, Dale with a free choice of compound in 11th. We got Aero Specialist down in 12th, SJH into 13th. As we're going to wait for the loading screen to come through, and we'll go through the list again. Okay, apparently I got experience for commentating. That's how good I am. Right, so we got Sloshy on pole, Danger second, Nas in third, Vallicello fourth, Stern in fifth, Romata sixth, Don Silva seventh, Sneaky Ninja eighth, Jacob ninth, Hammers 10th, Dale in 11th, free choice of tyres Aero in 12th, SJH 13th, Rich 500 who crashed out in 14th. We got Bullet down in 15th, Richman in 16th, Ivan all the way down in 17th, and Infinities will be starting from the back of the grid in 18th place as we get ready for the formation lap and for the Singapore Grand Prix. As these guys are now perfecting their race strategies. As I said, if you're starting on the ultra soft tyres, it should be one stop pitting around about from lap 7 to lap 10 as the pit window for the ultra softs to the soft tyres. I mean, if you're starting on the hyper softs, you're pretty much committed to a 2-stop strategy, which, if you can get in clean air, can be decent, but it all depends if you're getting clean air. So for everyone in the stream right now, post in the chat, let me know who you think is going to win the Singapore Grand Prix today. Who is your money on? Let me know in the chat. I actually can't believe that. Have I had my mic muted this entire time? Let me know in the chat, have I had my mic muted this entire time? Throughout qualifying? Has that just happened? Well, if I have had my mic muted, I was not muted. Oh, I'm happy I was not muted, because I just looked down then, saw my headset and thought, oh my god, have I just commentated to myself throughout qualifying and not for anyone in the stream? I would have been fuming. But as these guys are on their formation laps, there's 31 laps of this circuit, and tyre temps are going to be a key factor, as we got a lot of people opting to start on the ultra soft tyres. Infinities on the back will be starting on the soft tyres, so going for a bit of a different strategy, bit of a contest strategy, as we've got a comment saying the soft to the ultras is the fastest strategy. I mean, the one stop definitely the fastest strategy, and I suppose at the end of the race you really want to be on the fastest tyre possible to really go for it. So I can see your logic there, mate. I can see it. It's good logic. I like it. As here we go now, as the guys are coming to the end of their formation lap. 23 corners make up this Marina Bay street circuit. You are on the edge every single lap. 31 laps to be exact, as these guys are, they're taking their time when they get on the grid. But here we go, as Ivan is now getting into his grid spot at the back alongside Infinities, as we are going now to 5 red lights, and here they are. 4, 5 red lights, lights out, and we are underway for the Singapore Grand Prix. A lot of smoke being chucked up in the air, a lot of dust, as the Ferrari's going down the inside of Dange. He is unable to make a move, but he is alongside the Mercedes of Nas, and he just gets ahead. Will Romata have a little sniff on the run down to turn 5? I think he does. He's side by side. As you got the Force India side by side with the Renault behind, Sneaky Ninja and Stern side by side. And it's all kicked off in the midfield as they're still side by side. The Mercedes of Nas just getting ahead of the Alfa Romeo Sauber of Romata, and Sneaky Ninja able to just get ahead of Stern and Don Silva, having a little peek. Is he going to make anything happen? Nope, thinks better of it. Lap 1, you don't want to risk any kind of front wing damage whatsoever. But it does appear that Stern has been a bit swamped off the start by the Renault guys, as Romata has now made a move on the Mercedes of Nas, and he has made it work, as we got the Ferrari of Vallicello all over the back of Dange. Now, I will say this about Vallicello: he is a very quick driver, but he cannot afford to make the same mistakes as he has done in the past, because the penalties he has accumulated in the past has cost him some vital points in this season. So hopefully Vallicello can keep it on the track, not get any penalties, and he can be in contention for a very good race as he goes into the wall. The back end stepped out on him as he goes into the wall. And what's happening towards the back of the grid, I'm not sure. As we got Dale into the pits, and SJH also into the pits. So was there any contact between these guys? And that was a very slow pit stop from Dale. Did he have a 5-second stop-go penalty for causing a collision? I'm not sure, but it did seem like a very slow stop as we got Romata getting past Vallicello up in the front of the pack, as Vallicello is now dropping back into the clutches of Nas in that Mercedes. So can Nas get a good run and make the move around the outside of turn 16? Unable, actually he has done it. He's done it, and oh my god! Ladies and gentlemen, we just had a bit of a decent lag issue right there, as I'm sure you guys would have seen. Sneaky Ninja just tried to creep underneath Vallicello's car, but Vallicello has front wing damage, as we saw, and he is struggling, and he's coming to the pits, but DRS has been enabled. I know Stern, Don Silva, James and his teammate Ivan wouldn't have been too pleased with Vallicello being that close to him as he was going into the pits, because he did try to get into the pits as quickly as possible, but a bit of time was lost for those guys. So up front, we got the Toro Rosso of Dange all over the back of Sloshy. In fact, Joe, we're going to go on TV pod and just see how he's going to be taking these corners. As James gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but this is the fight for the lead. These guys are looking smooth on their corners. And now we'll go back to the broadcast camera. Big question, can Romata catch up to him? He's 3 seconds back. Can he catch up to him? I'm not sure. And further 3 seconds back is Nas in that Mercedes. And we got Sneaky Ninja with a bit of a gap to Stern, James, Don Silva and Ivan. And Richmond, actually. I didn't even realise Richmond was at the back of that little grid. Back of that little cube. But here he goes down the inside of Ivan into turn 1. And it's a lovely move. It's a lovely move from Richmond. Getting himself up into P9 on those soft tyres. He is the leading soft tyre runner. As Infinities has made a good start also. Getting up into P11. Ahead of that little pack behind him of Rich 500, Jacob and Aero Specialist. So we got this nice 5-way scrap for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. All within DRS of each other. And it's going to get quite tasty. Can James break the DRS of Stern? And he is outside that second. Romata gets a 3-second time penalty as we got Richmond trying to go around the outside of Don Silva, unable to make it work. Is that going to allow Ivan to have a little sniff on Richmond? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But we're going to keep an eye on this epic battle right now. As Richmond, he's got to give that place back, surely. He's got to give that place back, surely, Richmond. That final corner was cut. We saw the penalty being awarded for him cutting it. And it's only sportsmanship like to allow Don Silva to take back that position, as Ivan has actually moved alongside Don Silva. So it's going to be a drag race between the Ferrari and the Renault. And it looks like the Ferrari has got it, as we got the Force India and Haas side by side. Lads, keep it clean. Keep it clean as Haas goes down the inside again. And the Force India goes out wide. He's lost it. Very close there for Stern. Almost ending up into the wall. And he almost took Don Silva with him, actually. So that's unfortunate, as Don Silva really is closing up under braking, as we got our lovely rear view camera, as we got the Toro Rosso of Aero Specialist losing the back end in the traction zone, which will allow Rich 500 to get down the inside, but he's unable to make it work. Jacob behind, ready to pounce Stern with a 3-second time penalty. As we got this 4-way battle over here, and Stern and Ivan into the final sector. Both of them unable to make that corner because they went side by side, and it looks like Ivan is gonna peel off into the pits. He's dipping out, and there goes oh my god, Don Silva losing the back end, and he has demolished Infinities, as Ivan has a 5-second stop go penalty. That is, I don't know what to say about that. I can only feel sorry for Infinities. He done everything right there. Don Silva just losing the back end. As there he goes down the inside of Stern, and Aero Specialist following him through. As Jacob gets past Rich 500. Infinities though, he's got front wing damage. this is one of the worst tracks to have front wing damage at, and he's on the soft tyres. This could be a very long race for Infinities, as Stern is going slow. Does Stern have any front wing damage? He does have a little bit of front wing damage, so that explains why he's going slow. Jacob down the inside. Can he get it done? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Jacob looking to get some points in the championship. Has Don Silva got any damage whatsoever? It doesn't look like it. But Aero Specialist is all over the back of him. And I would think that Don Silva's tyres are overheated after that slide. So that might be the reason why he's dropped so far off the back of Rich and James, as these ultra soft tyres will be starting to overheat as we speak, as Sloshy has extended that gap to 1.5 seconds up ahead. Danger is just under 2 seconds ahead of Romata, and oh, there we go, 2 seconds exactly. As Infinities does come into the pit, he's going to be double stacking with his teammate, which is unfortunate for him, but he chucks on another set of the soft tyres, and he's going to have to make another pit stop, unfortunately, for Infinity. So it's not a great race for him. Another person it's not a great race for is SJH, all the way down in last place. 18 seconds. 11 seconds behind Infinities. Now, when will these front runners pull the trigger on the pit stops? I predicted around about lap 7 to lap 10 would be when they would pit in for the soft tyre compound. But we're going to see what these guys do. As I'm going to just have a look at the chart just to see what you guys are saying. So we got support here for the Mercedes driver of NAS. We've also got support here for Danger. So we're going to see how they're doing, but at the moment both are doing very well, second and fourth respectively. Lap 8 of 31. Have we got any close battles whatsoever on track? And yes, we do. We got Ivan versus Dale for P13. No move has been made yet for these guys. And Vallicello has actually come out on a set of ultra soft tyres. I'm not sure what kind of strategy Vallicello is doing. He's pitted once, but he's pitted onto a set of ultra softs, and so is Dale. And Ivan is on a set of hyper soft tyres. I'm not sure what the strategy is with these guys, but it's not a great strategy for him. As we got James coming into the pitch, which releases Richman into 6th place. And I did see Aero Specialist getting a 3-second time penalty, and there's Ivan with a 3-second time penalty. And Jacob now also gets a 3-second time penalty. So Don Silva and James have made their pit stop onto the soft compound tyre, and they're going to be looking to go to the end of the race on that set of tyres. James rejoins in P11. Don Silva down to P14. But when will these front guys come into the pits? Danger is closing up on Sloshy. He's gained about 4 tenths over the past couple of laps. And there is the Toro Rosso driver. As we come into the final few corners, can Danger get the race win? Will Danger be looking for an undercut? Will he be looking for the overcut? I'm not sure. I mean, these soft tyres, they do take a bit of time to heat up. So the overcut might not be a bad shout as Romata peels off into the pits from 3rd place, which releases Nas into 3rd and Sneaky Ninja into 4th. And Richmond on his soft tyres now into 5th. It's going to be interesting to see what will happen as Aero Specialist gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding into the pit lane. That is not what he would want whatsoever, but here he goes with a set of soft tyres coming on, a new front wing. Also coming on is Valicello, gets a 3-second time penalty. And we got the Red Bull of Jacob also having a front wing change there behind. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys combat Richmond, because they're going to catch up to him. They're going to catch up to Richmond eventually at some point mid-race of this this Grand Prix, but will they be able to get past him? Time will tell. Now, will we be seeing Sloshy and Danger peel off into the pits? It's lap 10 of 31. And Sloshy is coming into the pits. Danger going for the overcut. So now we're going to see. Now we're going to see how good the overcut can be on this circuit. Can Danger rejoin ahead of Sloshy? Will Sloshy actually get out ahead of Richmond? Nope, Richmond does get ahead of Sloshy. So Richmond has actually done enough on those soft tyres to be able to jump these guys early stage of this Grand Prix, but the 10 lap older soft tyres are not going to be able to help him. So now we're just waiting for Danger to go ahead and make his pit stop. Will the overcut work out for him? Because as said, those soft tyres will take a good lap to warm up. So this could be Danger's opportunity to get out ahead of Sloshy and try and keep him behind while he warms his tyres up. As he goes under the bridge at the final sector. And here he comes into the pits. Now, where is Sloshy on track? He's coming under the bridge right now. I'm not sure if Danger has done enough. Can Danger get out ahead of Sloshy? Sloshy coming around the final corner. Where's Danger? No! Danger unable to make the overcut work out for him. In fact, he has lost time and he's side by side with Romata. Romata gets the traction around the outside. Danger has dropped behind the Sauber of Romata. So the overcut did not work out well for him. And Romata with the 2-lap undercut has managed to get past the Toro Rosso of Dangur. As we got Richmond, who is now starting to be pressurized by Sloshy, whose laps are 10 lap fresher. I can't see Richmond holding on to this for too long. Hopefully he will decide to just run his own race and not try to battle these guys too much and lose a lot of time. As we got a yellow flag in sector 3. Unable to find out what that yellow flag is for. But here we go. With every single corner you can see Sloshy is just closing up to that Haas of Richmond. And DRS, he's going to pull to the inside. And Sloshy will get past Richmond. And Dangur, whose tyres are probably just starting to heat up right now, is going to try to close in that gap to Romata. As Romata gets another 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help him out. But it is awfully close on track with these guys. Awfully close. Richmond, who started on the soft compound tyre, up in second at the moment. Romata and Dangur, who have made pit stops relatively recently, right on his back end. As Romata's going to have a look down the inside. Can he get it done? Yes, he does. Will that open the door for Dangur? Not quite yet. Not quite yet, but Dangur will be sniffing a podium for sure in this race. He will be sniffing some good points once he gets past Richmond. Hopefully he can put some pressure on Romata. And here he goes to the inside. And he's going to get cleanly past Richmond into turn 1. So good stuff there from all three of these guys in the top 3, and from Richmond as well. Not really fighting these guys too much, running his own race. As we got James just getting past Sneaky Ninja for 7th place. So it's going to be interesting to see what will happen, because Richmond will be making a pit stop, so will Rich 500, and Ivan will definitely be making a pit stop from those hyper soft tyres. And Valicello gets another 3-second time penalty. It looks like he has made his pit stop from what was a second set of ultra soft tyres to the soft compound tyre. He's going to be going to the end of the race now, but he has lost quite a lot of time. As we got Infinities, who was involved in that collision early on and gets a 3-second time penalty. He was involved in that collision early on with Don Silva. Unfortunately for Infinities, it meant that he had to chuck on a second set of soft tyres, and he is all the way down in 15th place. But I think the man who has been hard done most of all so far this race has been SJH, all the way back in 18th place in no man's land. Now, a lot of people are saying that we haven't actually had a safety car in this season so far, and they're right. We haven't had a safety car yet. So it'll be interesting to see if we do get a safety car in this race. Because if we do, it's going to bunch everyone up. There might be a chance for some people to make a good pit stop, a good strategy, and work out for them, and might be worth a sneaky ninja comes into the pits for a second set of soft tyres. As Ivan chucks on a set of ultra soft tyres, which is confusing me. Ivan, I don't know what strategy is Ivan on. I don't know anymore. I honestly don't know. Soft tyres should be able to go to the end for Sneaky Ninja, no problem, and they should go to the end for Ivan, but it looks like he has no confidence whatsoever in the soft compound tyre. It's not the best race tyre, but it is the tyre to get you through a majority of the race. You'll lose a lot more time by making more pit stops on the ultra softs than you will just making one pit stop to the soft tyre. So at the moment, at the halfway stage of this Grand Prix, we got Sloshy in first place ahead of his teammate Romata in second place, Danger in third, Richmond, who is yet to make a pit stop, in fourth place, Nas in the Mercedes in fifth place, as we got Vallicello out of the race. Vallicello is out of the race. Where to is that? It's in sector 3. Oh no, he's lost it just before the bridge. In sector 3, he's going to be absolutely tamping, fuming, raging about that, and it's not going to be great. But are we going to get a safety car out of this? A safety car would play into the hands of Richmond and Rich 100%, but it looks like we're not going to get a safety car. Yellow flags in sector 1 and 2 as we got SJH getting out of the way of Don Silva and Jacob, and that's the battle for 10th place as Infinities picks up another 3-second time penalty. He's 5 seconds back from this fight for 10th place, so Infinities can kind of get back into the points, but with the amount of penalties accumulated so far, he probably will end up dropping back out of the points. As Danger is looking to close in on Romata, who is also looking to close in on Sloshy. Now, Romata able to get past Danger with a 2-lap undercut, and obviously getting past Richmond. Romata was able to do it before sector 3, which really did hold up Danger quite a bit. But it looks like Danger is starting to reel in that Sauber. We're going to have a little look back. Sloshy gets a 3-second time penalty. That is crucial because at this moment in time, Danger is just outside of 3 seconds. I don't think Danger has a penalty yet. We know Romata has. So, Danger is just a few tenths off a possible race win via penalties, which is not it's not how he's going to want to win, but you got to take a win no matter how it comes. So Sloshy has put himself under some pressure. Romata is also under some pressure from Danger, who is just outside the second. He isn't going to have DRS quite yet, as SJH gets a 3-second time penalty. I mean, SJH is a lap down. It's unfortunate. He's usually very consistent in the top 10, but today it just hasn't worked out for him. As Romata gets another 3-second time penalty. Now, if I remember correctly, Romata now has 3-second time penalties, which could potentially put him under pressure at the end of the race. Let's have a look at the gap from the leader. So Danger is literally 2/10 outside of that penalty that Sloshy has. 2/10, and he is starting to close in on Romata. He is within DRS. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to get tasty in the next lap. Does Sloshy help out his teammate, or does Sloshy just run his own race? That is going to be the key question. Will there be team orders here to hold up Danger? I'm not sure, but here we go. DRS is going to be wide open as Richman gets a 3-second. No, sorry, Rich 500 with a 3-second time penalty. My apologies. As we got 2 Riches in this Grand Prix, one in the Haas and one in the Williams. Lap 19 of 31. And Danger now has DRS on the Sauber of Romata, which is definitely going to help pull him along. We got Nas up in 4th, so Richmond has dropped down to 5th. We didn't see what happened there, but Nas has been released. So we're sticking with this fight at the moment between Romata and Danger. It looks like Dan is quicker in the final sector, although he has dropped out of DRS in the final sector. Has he been able to pull it back? 9/10. He might just still be in DRS. Yeah, he's going to be in DRS. DRS wide open, and it's just going to pull him along. Keep him close to Romata, who I'm sure knows that Danger currently doesn't have any penalties, as you can always ask your race engineer, good old Jeff, on the race situation of the car in behind you, and whether or not he has a penalty. As we got a yellow flag in sector 2, and Richmond has dropped another place, but this one to Rich 500. So this is going to be interesting, because this is the alternative strategy between these two compared to the rest of the field. I mean, I know Infinity's wanted this strategy to work out for him as well, but because of that collision with Don Silva earlier on in the race, it forced him to make another pit stop, one more than what he wanted to. So Infinity's could have been up here with this battle between the two Riches for 4th and 5th, and able to be on the much faster tyre at the end of the Grand Prix. As it just looks like Romata and Danger are just trading sector times. Just trading a 10th here and there. But eventually DRS should help Danger get back into contention, as Sochi does have quite a bit of ERS. Danger and Romata kind of equalised in ERS, sorry. As Rich 500 and Richmond have come into the pits, so let's just be a set of ultra softs to the end. It looks to be that way, so this will be interesting now to see how many positions they can get back. They're going to come out just outside the top 10. Well, there was me thinking they were going to come out just outside the top 10. Rich out in Rich 500 out in 12th, and Richmond all the way down in 15th. So everyone here has had very similar pace. As Dan Gert has actually lost quite a bit of time now to Romata. It must have been a mistake somewhere. Sloshy pretty much has a 3-second gap to second place, so as long as he doesn't accumulate another penalty, it should be comfortable for Sloshy to maintain that gap. As SJH has retired from the session, and to be honest, I don't blame him. I don't know if he lost the car anyway, but he was a lap down. It's not been a great day for the Red Bull driver of SJH. So at the moment, Nas is in no man's land, 22 seconds behind Danger and 14 seconds ahead of James behind him. Aero Specialist is 1.7 seconds behind James, but behind Hero Specialist. Stern down in 7th, 11.6 seconds behind. Under pressure from Jacob in the Red Bull and the Mercedes, Force India of Infinities, who is, well, they're both within DRS and both have a good amount of ERS as well. So Stern could be under some serious pressure very soon, as Ivan is in P10, as we got Dale and Don Silva running their race. Right behind them we got Rich 500, who has closed up to them quite quickly. In fact, well, Rich actually lost a place there. I'm positive I saw him come out in P12. So Rich has actually lost a place. I'm guessing to Dale, but he's got to start making moves soon, as Don Silva has carried straight on. Don Silva has gone almost into the wall. Doesn't appear to be any front wing damage, so I'm guessing he got the brakes working just right so he didn't hit the wall. But Don Silva now, race over for Don Silva. And Bullet all the way back in 16th place. He's in no man's land as well. But it just looks like that the gaps of the front runners are just starting to spread out a bit, so we gotta focus on this battle right now for 8th place. As Infinities does make his pit stop for the ultra soft tyres. And here goes Jacob trying it around the outside, unable to make it work, as we got Don Silva into the pits also. I mean, nothing for Don Silva to lose, really. I'm not sure if he did get damage, but if he didn't, nothing for him to lose. He could probably go on to set a fastest lap if Infinity doesn't beat him to it. But we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. At the moment, we are on board with the Force India of Stern, who is under pressure from Jacob in the Red Bull behind. And a good thing to point out as well is that the gap between Romata and Sloshy is 1.8 seconds. So the gap is starting to close between the Sauber drivers. So this race for the win, it isn't over yet. It's definitely not over yet, because we know Sloshy has a 3-second time penalty. If Dan Gurr can get 6/10 out of that car, he is going to be well within a shot of taking away the race win, as Richman has retired. Richman has retired from the Grand Prix. Where was that to? As we're on board with Bullet, trying to find out where it is. Richman has left the session. It looks like it was close to the end of Sector 3. Maybe in the final corner, but Jacob gets past Stern for P7. So that's a good bonus for the Red Bull driver. His teammate out of the race. Sneaky Ninja gets a 3-second time penalty. We're on lap 25 of 31. The gap for the top three is 3.7 seconds. And it's important to say that Dan Gurr has no penalty. Romata has a few 3-second penalties, and Sloshy, to my knowledge, has at least one 3-second time penalty. So 6/10 Dan Gurr has got to close up by, and he closed up by a 10th, but that is the gap. Dan Gurr needs to close up 6/10 to be within a shout of winning this race. But he is on the slightly younger tyres compared to these guys ahead. Romata pitted, went for the 2-lap undercut on lap 9. Sloshy pitted lap 10. Dan Gurr lap 11. Let's have a look at a fight that we got going on by here between the McLaren of James and the Toro Rosso of Aero Specialist, who almost go straight into the back of the McLaren driver. Aero Specialist has a very healthy amount of ERS compared to James in 5th. So Aero Specialist should be looking pretty decent when it comes to the DRS on the run down to turn 7. He should be looking pretty good to get that move done. He opens DRS right now. He might actually get it done into turn 1. Nope, he thinks better of it. He's going to wait for the second DRS zone, and this should be job done for Aero Specialist. But he does have quite a few penalties, which probably will drop him back, as it did look like then that he did just smash into the wall. But here he goes. James defends to the inside. He's going to try it around the outside, and the McLaren defends brilliantly to keep a hold of 5th for the time being. But you know that that move is going to be happening soon enough, as it looks like Dan Gurr is now within DRS of Romata once again. But Romata is 3.3 seconds behind the race leader. So Sloshy right now, he is doing enough to negate that 3-second time penalty that he has. Can Dan Gur get past Romada? Can Dan Gur get within 3 seconds of Sloshy? Can Dan Gur win this race? Time will tell. But at the moment, Sloshy is just keeping it calm, collected. And I'm not sure. I thought I might have saw a little spit of rain in the air then, but I must have been mistaken. In Sector 1 it did look like a little bit of rain in the air. So we're on lap 27 of 31. Romada is under pressure from Dan Gur for P2. Aero Specialist is pressurising James for P5. And everyone else is just outside of DRS of each other as we got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Still, we haven't had a safety car in this Grand Prix whatsoever. And we haven't had a safety car all season. I don't know what's been happening with the safety cars, because we've had some pretty big incidents. And the race that I missed in Belgium at Spa apparently was worth a safety car out in Belgium. But here we go, Dan Gur closing up. A little bit too far back to make a move. I think Romada's running some good aero for straight line speed here. Focusing a bit more on the straights than into the corners, which might answer the question why he is losing a bit of time to Sloshy and Dan Gur. As we got the Mercedes driver of NAS completely in no man's land, in 4th place, almost guaranteed it. And we got James still under pressure from Aero Specialist. But in fact, we're going to stay on board with this fight just to see if he can close up with DRS. And nowhere near. In fact, we have another little battle brewing up as we got Dale and Sneaky Ninja in a bit of a fight for 10th place. As the leaders are on lap 29 of 31. Sloshy doing enough right now to keep his lead after penalties are applied. Dan Gur is almost certainly guaranteed 2nd place here today. But for any chance of him getting the victory, he's going to need a mistake from Sloshy to just close that gap down to within 3 seconds, or maybe even a second time penalty. Stern also gets a time penalty, so we're going to have a little look a sec, see if Dan Gur can get past. No, he can't. We're going to move back to this fight between Aero and James. And Aero Specialist has actually saved up a lot of ERS, but so has James. He has kind of missed his opportunity to put that McLaren under serious pressure. And here we go, DRS wide open. He's not even in overtake mode. And that hasn't helped him. Dan Gur still stuck behind Romada. Those tyres are now starting to slip and slide. Can Dangur get second on track? That is going to be the question. Can he get second place on track? We know he's going to get it after penalties, but can he do it on track? This is what Dangur will want. In fact, let's have a little look back and see how this fight between Sneaky Ninja and Dale is brewing up, and I think that is Infinity's behind. And it is Infinity's behind. So this is actually going to heat up a little bit into the dying stages of this Grand Prix. Infinity's does have penalties. I believe Dale and Sneaky Ninja also have penalties. But Infinity's is on the ultra soft tyres. In fact, I'm surprised that Ivan, who has been able to stretch those ultra softs 14 laps and is still holding it in P9 and is within DRS actually of Stern in P8, who has been on those soft tyres for 23 laps. They've got to be approaching the end of their tyre life right now. As AOR Specialist once again not going for the move. Dangur is all over the back of Romata right now. It's 3/10. And this should be a move into turn 1. Nope, he is going to hold off turn 1 and wait for the second DRS zone. But this should be the moment now where Dangur gets past Sloshy. He's closest than he's ever been. And he's just lost a couple of attempts in that turn. I believe it's turn 4? No, turn 5. He just lost a couple of attempts in turn 5. Right there, which wouldn't have helped him out whatsoever. But Romata is doing enough to stay ahead of Dangur, and all this fighting has just allowed Soshi the opportunity to just get away and run away with this Grand Prix. As now Dangur gets a 3-second time penalty. That's it. It's 100% over for Dangur now. No chance of the race win for Dangur, as we are on board with our race leader, the pole sitter, the championship leader, as he comes through the final few corners around turn 21. And here he goes around the final corner. Fireworks are going off as Sloshy has won the Singapore Grand Prix for AOR F6. And Dangur will come second. In fact, it looked like a bit of a drag race to the line. But Dangur will be second on time penalties. Romata will get the podium. Nas, who has been in no man's land, will be in 4th place, as James and AOR Specialist now getting a bit of a gap to themselves. I do believe AOR Specialist is under pressure from Jacob with those penalties. So we're going to see what happens here as Nas comes around the final corner to claim 4th place. Good performance from Nas. In fact, who has got the fastest lap? Who gets that honour? It's going to be Rich 500, who will have the honour of the fastest lap, unless Infinities pops in a quicker time on this final lap, as James will get 5th. AOR Specialist for 5 second unserved stop go. Jacob will get 6th. Stern will get 7th. Ivan will finish in 9th. Dale just went all the way up to 6th. So Dale, with no penalties, gets a great result up into 6th. So there is our podium. Sloshy on the top step, Dangur in second, and Romata in third. It's another Sauber double podium. They are looking unbeatable in the Constructors' Championship, but Dangur is going to be chasing a victory in the latter part of the season. I can guarantee it. He's come close a few times. Dangur is owed a victory, in my opinion. But Dale, with no penalties, gets up into 6th after crossing over the line in 10th place. And Sneaky Ninja gets the final point after Ivan has been demoted down to 11th. Infinities will be 12th. But Nas, no man's land throughout that entire race, gets 4th. And disappointing race for Vallicello, SJH, Richmond and Bullet, who all DNF'd. Don Silva and Rich being lapped, which is not what we want. We want to see these guys battling for good points. But Sloshy, your race winner. Dangur in second. Romata third. That is your podium. And this has been a very, very intense Marina Bay Circuit Singapore Grand Prix here with the lads of AOR F6. Now, once again, there will be no interviews because I actually got to shoot off once again. I always got to shoot off after the races. It's unfortunate. It's very rare that I get to do any interviews. But I will have to shoot off once again. So for everyone who turned up to watch these guys around Singapore, thank you. And we shall catch you next week for what I believe is the Russian Grand Prix. So we shall catch you next week for round number 16. I have been your commentator, AOR Mike, and we shall catch you again. Peace.